Well, the stove outlet was hooked into this wire, and see, it's real short. There's no way to replace that outlet, so we're going to have to put a junction box below it. So I'm going to cut along the stud here. Feel where that wire is going. I'll cut over this way. Force will get it out. Don't get frustrated, just a little force. Don't worry about what you can't do. Might be mutilating wire, but you know what? There's nothing else I can do. Absolutely nothing. And don't worry about what you can't do. Just worry about what you can do. Force it. There, I got that out. But I bent it all up, so throw that away. And there's all our wire right here. So we bought some electrical tape, and we're going to put a new junction box in the wall here. You're not supposed to conceal a box, but you know what? You do what you got to do. But we are going to make this an access panel. So here's our new wire to go to the new outlet. Just let it lay there, I don't care. Okay, so I'll make a nice score down the middle here. Careful not to cut into the wires. cut out, and it'll be easier to grab what I need. Okay, so I will clip all my debris off here. Make sure everything's all nice and clean. Make sure the wires aren't crossing over each other here. I'll put it up into my Romex connector here. Well, I thought I had my flashlight, but you know what? It's not here, so you know what? I'm not going to bother. Don't even get frustrated. I just truck forward. Don't truck backwards. You truck forward. So we walk up. I'll just do it by feel. Make sure my wire is settled in the connector there. It's flush. I'll take my flathead screwdriver. Tap this ring tight. It's very easy to get it going the wrong way, so you gotta get it going the right way. Make sure it's tight. I strip a little copper. I'm careful not to cut into the strands here. Very carefully score all the way around there. And I pull it back. Now this is one example where a white wire will be alive, because this is a 220, 240 volt outlet that does not require a neutral. Never frustrate over things you can't find. Either do an alternate plan or just do whatever. Don't frustrate. Go buy another one if you can't find it, or just do it the hard way, as long as it doesn't violate safety and it's up to code. That's all you should care about. Don't care about losing stuff, because you have a credit card to go keep buying more. So we're putting in a new 50 amp outlet here. Okay, so I'll open up my terminals. This one is the ground, so that's this one. This gets the bare wire. This one gets the black or the white. So we got to open up our screws. I'm going to make sure it's not too long. And that is slightly long, so I'm going to cut just a little bit off of this. Not a whole lot, just a very little. And I'll get this one up here. I'll cut a little off of this one because it's going to be a little long. And just twist my strands together here. Make sure they're all together. Okay, so I'll put the black one in this one, and I get the insulation just up to the bottom of the terminal there. See how it's not getting under the terminal, it's just getting up to the terminal. You can see the copper right there. Now we'll do our white wire. Get it in the hole. And our copper is coming up to the bottom there. And we'll tighten it up. One, two. Okay, now I'll shorten this ground up some here. And I'll put that in this hole here. Make sure it's up in all the way here. Okay, and then just make sure it bottomed out in the hole. Make sure it's tight. And now we can fold this into the wall here. Up and down. Tough cable here. And the ground wire I'll push over this way so it doesn't touch anything we don't want it to touch. Pushing it over this way. There's a nice big 4-inch box back in here. Okay, now I'm going to just look, make sure my wires aren't going to get hit by the screws, and it looks like it is going to be in the way of the screw there, so you know what? I have to move it. This black wire has to go over this way, and the white has to go over this way. There, now we're clearing everything. Be nice if I had my flashlight, but I don't, and I'm not frustrating. I'm just going to do the best I can without it, because it never pays to frustrate. Never. Absolutely never. You know what? I have to reposition some wires. So back to ground. I'll push this black pull up on it some. I'm gonna pull up on this white some more too. And I'm gonna push it over to the right so that that screw clears everything. Okay, so those screws look clear now. I'm going to shorten this screw up a little bit so that if in case the wires are back there, I won't hit them. Okay, now we'll hook our junction box up. break it, you just force it until it comes off. Just keep clipping away at it. Just do it, fight it, and fight it. Don't frustrate, just fight it. There it goes. Came off. So there's our conductors here. I hate sweat on my glasses, but you know what? There's nothing I can do about it, so you just gotta struggle. You just struggle and see. You just ignore the drips on your glasses, and you just see the best you can and struggle. Don't frustrate. Just do the best you can, and don't frustrate. Nothing is worth getting frustrated over. Okay, so now we can slide our cable into the box. Bring that jacket into the box there. Make sure this wire is nice and straight going to this connector. Okay, so now we have our conductors ready to go here. I'll just score this up the middle here. Be careful not to cut the conductors when you cut off all this jacket in here. Okay, these are our ground screws. You gotta ground this box. You know what? I'm not going to frustrate looking for it. I'm just going to get it done. Make sure it's tight. We'll get our ground wires together here. This is a split bolt. These are both copper, so you don't have to separate them. I'll just clip all the sharp edges off here. I'll just give that one more turn to make sure it's tight. I'll do it this way. There. Okay, so there is our ground wire. Down into the box. Okay, now we'll do our live wires here. We'll get rid of this plastic here. Okay. Again, you gotta just ignore the drips of sweat on your glasses. You just ignore them and struggle. You gotta just struggle and see what you're doing. Because there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, so we're getting our black wire stripped here. Open up our split bolt. Get them into our connector here. I'll make sure no insulation is under it. Make sure it's tight. Okay, we're going to use our 3M tape here, and we're going to tape this splice up. I'm going to just look at it with my flashlight here. That's not my flashlight, so don't frustrate. I don't have it. So I'm going to see the best I can, make sure everything looks good. My copper's all through, so I'm not frustrating over that flashlight. If it's gone, it's gone. I'm not going to frustrate. Okay, so no insulation is caught under the split bolt. And I'll just tape it up. Tape down here, where I'll finish wrapping it. Make sure it's nice and tight down here. Make sure the tape is on there nice and good. And I'll push this down out of the way here. Okay, now we'll get our last wire in here. Okay, we'll get our other split bolt out. Here it is. Gently score around the insulation here without cutting into the wires underneath. Just score the insulation. Here we go. And we'll get them lined up down here. We'll open up our split bolt here. Put both of our conductors in the split bolt. Okay, make sure it's tight. Where's our tape? It's right here. Make sure the insulation's not pinched. And the copper is through on both ends. It's a little bit easier without other wires in your way. Now let's make sure the tape is on there nice and secure. I'll just check my connectors, make sure my wires are even in there and there's no pinching going on. Push this down into the box. And now we can put our cover on this. There's nothing in the wall to screw this to. There's no anchors or anything, so we did the best we can. So the carpenters will come. I'll tell the carpenters to come, and I'll have them tell them to cut out from here to here, cut from here down, and make an access panel that screws into this so that this box is accessible. And we'll just put this box inside the wall here. But it'll be accessible. It won't be buried. 1, 2. Alrighty, so that is how to replace a 220, 240 volt receptacle where the wire was too short to replace it, because when they hooked it up they slid it back through the box and tightened the clamp so that there was no slack inside the box and no way of replacing it, so I had to make a splice and put a junction box in, but we are putting that junction box in with an access panel, so it is not concealed. Peace. Thanks for watching. That is how we wire a 220, 240 volt, 3-wire, 50 amp receptacle in the country I was born in.